Chesterfield County is the largest public school system here in Central Virginia, and instruction for students remains completely virtual right now until at least the end of the month. But some families are telling CBS 6 that policy is failing their children.
Teachers are struggling, parents are struggling, students are struggling. It's not their fault. I never expected them to hit it out of the park the first time. I do expect us to utilize the data and make a change. Chesterfield owes it to the kids to say that they're failing.
CBS 6 problem solver Laura French is here now with a preview of tonight's story. And Laura, the family you talked to was very vocal about this, both the parents and the children. This is very frustrating because students who were doing well are no longer doing well in some cases.
Right, and this is what we will be presenting tonight. This data actually shows this, and that's one of the first questions I asked this mom. I mean, this is a very vulnerable position that she's putting her two children in. I mean, she's telling, one of her kids has dyslexia, one of them is ADHD. She's putting this all out there, she says, to really get this conversation started. And, that's a, big position to put them in. She says she's doing it, again, so that her kids don't feel alone. So what's the data, Cheryl? And what we're going to be showing folks tonight is that 1 in 6 high school students right now in Chesterfield County is failing 2 or more classes. 1 in 8 middle school students right now failing 2 or more classes. Now that's almost double at the high school level and more than double at the middle school level compared to last year in first quarter. So what this mom is saying right now to Chesterfield educators is, take a look at this data, think outside the box and do something about it. And she says that is really why she's speaking out.
And that's got to be a tough situation too, because it's difficult for parents, for children, and for teachers right now. This is something so abnormal, and we've never dealt with anything like this before. Did the parents have any hesitation about coming forward?
No, not at all. And it's one thing that she really did want to make clear. She said, these teachers, really in her words, were thrown into the ocean and told to build a ship. She said, I need these teachers. She said, I want to make this very clear. I'm not blaming anyone, but what we're doing now, in her words, isn't working. And she said she hopes that they're going to look at this data and not just do what we're doing now. She said, because in her opinion, she says, we are doing the exact same thing as what we have been doing, but these kids are in a completely different environment. And she gets very intimate. She did share with me that her brother died by suicide, and that's a huge concern for her because her 7th grader is showing signs of depression. She said that his classmate did also die by suicide, and these are real big concerns. So she is a parent, both her and her husband are very involved in their kids' education, but they were pushing their kids really hard, and both of her kids are failing, and they are part of those statistics, and they both were honor roll students, so they fit into this statistic. And at first they were pushing them very hard, but now she said it is not worth their lives. So she really does open up in this story, and I think a lot of parents are going to relate to this tonight, and we're going to have many more discussions about this. We're going to actually do a Zoom discussion online today at 3 o'clock on WTVR.com. All day we're going to be discussing this.
All right, you can get some more information. A lot of questions to be asked and answered tonight. You can watch Laura's Problem Solvers investigation only on the CBS 6 News at 11.